Hey guys, I want to come to you today with a message that's been on my heart for a little while. I've been thinking about how to do this because it's pretty sensitive, but it's super important. I'm going to take a stab at it. Recently, I've been hearing a lot about the Surgeon General's announcement that there is a loneliness and isolation crisis. And it's not just the United States, it's the whole world. And there's a lot of implications. First of all, there's some serious health implications. People have like a 30% increase in heart disease, 32% increase in stroke, 50% increase in dementia. And there's a lot of mental illness related to it, mostly depression. It's a 2 times increased likelihood of depression if you're an adult, if you're feeling isolated or lonely. 1/5 of adults in America have depression, and 1 out of 3 have kids have depression. And the suicide is also very scary. It's happening for veterans, with kids. It's scary stuff. So there's a bunch of different potential causes. I won't go into those because it might cause this video to not be seen. I think you know what some of them are, but I'm going to talk about remedies. I'm going to talk about possible solutions, things we can do. And I have struggled with this a little bit off and on. Most of my life I've been pretty much a glass is half full kind of person, but every once in a while I get hit with this depression and loneliness, and there's a couple things that I think we can do. First of all, we can get into service. If you're feeling depressed or disconnected or just in that funk, one of the best things you can do is get out there and help somebody else. Find a cause that matters to you. Maybe there's some groups that you can join. I know, for example, in the wintertime, here in Reno and Tahoe, it gets frickin' cold. And there's just a population of homeless people, which obviously has a lot to do with mental and physical health. But, they're in these freezing conditions. So my family and I, we get together and we do this coffee and food, and we deliver food to the homeless. And it's really helps us take more gratitude and be more appreciative. Second thing is just to individuals, like, who do you know that's struggling right now? Can you reach out and, just reach out and help somebody? So getting into service is number one. Number two, take a detox on some of the news and specifically scrolling. The AI is conditioned to grab our attention, and that's our commodity. And when our attention is in the screen, and a lot of the news that we're getting is pretty dangerous. It's like, I was listening to somebody the other day on a podcast, and they said, people are afraid to have kids these days. Because they go, I don't want to bring someone into the world right now. And his question was like, what world are you looking at? If you're looking at the news, you're going to see a filter of drama and sensationalism and frustration and fear and anger, and everything's divided. But there's a lot of good stuff out there too. So let's take a detox and eliminate the stuff that stresses you out. For example, I have timers on my phone where I can only be on certain apps for a certain amount of time, and then it shuts down. That's a good technique. Replace news and things that stress you out with uplifting things. There's so many podcasts. There's so many inspiring things that you can watch that lift you up, or read books. There's a lot of stuff we can do. And at least, if nothing else, if you can't do like a whole 2-week or a 4-week detox, at least put the last hour of the day before you go to bed and the first hour when you wake up, and make it sacred hours where you don't open up your mind to negative stuff, because that's when your subconscious is most receptive, and that's when the AI can really get in there and get you hooked. So give yourself that gift of the hour before you go to bed and the first hour when you wake up. Watch out for screen time. It'll also help you sleep better. Number 3, find or expand your tribes. Make a list of 5 or 6 causes and things that you love to do. For me, I love personal development, so I have a men's group. I love spiritual development, so I have sweat lodges in Native American communities and different spiritual communities that I'm involved in. I love to dance, so there's all kinds of groups that get together and dance, and I love camping. So find those things you love to do, and start networking, asking around, who does this? Where can I find groups that do this? Or jump on Meetup and find a group. There's lots of opportunities out there. There's a lot of people that want to be connected, so just go find your tribe. Next, host an event. Like, be somebody who is a leader and helps, bring people together. whether it's, like I said, a cause or something that matters, a cleanup or something that you love to do, or maybe it's just reaching out to somebody and having coffee with them, somebody who's struggling, and reach out and say, hey, let's go to coffee, let's get together, or let's just jump on a Zoom and reconnect. And the final thing is self-love. And what I mean by that is, yes, there's times when you're going to feel lonely, and this you're going to feel alone, but there's a lot of things you can do to fill up your tank and start loving yourself. I'll give you an example. I had an 18-year relationship that ended, and afterwards I was in a funk for about a year. I really was isolated, literally, because I live up in the mountains, and there's no neighbors around. And the only thing I ever did, really, because I was just in this funk, was I went to yoga and I went shopping. And I only left the house, and I was really by myself a lot. But it was an opportunity for me to really drop in on a spiritual level, kind of like a monk. And one of the things it became was a spiritual journey to really find myself, love myself. And one key I'll share with you is the gratitude is the magic. This is a great book. It's called The Magic. It's by Robin Byrne, who wrote the book, The Secret. And it's a 28-day gratitude challenge. Super good. If you can find a way to kind of fill yourself up, love yourself, find those things that you're grateful for, and from that full cup, that's when you can go out. And I've become much more likely to go out and share, because I'm now more fulfilled. I'm more happy with myself. And if I am alone, I don't have to be lonely. So my final thoughts are, there are 8 billion people out there. There's a lot of people that are looking to connect. They're like you. There's a lot of people that have similar values, similar interests. Find your tribe. And, after COVID and all the lockdowns, I've seen a big resurgence in people wanting to get together. So they went from this like dry, we're in a desert, to all of a sudden the faucet is on, and now we can go out there and we can drink from that faucet. So let's build community. Let's go out there and be in service, and let's reverse this trend. There's a lot of benefit by being out there and being social. And it doesn't mean being online. All right, you guys have a great day.